In the previous video, we went through and we imported some first-person arms, as well as a 1911 mesh, along with some appropriate animations for it, just like a basic, you know, fire. So in this video, what we're going to end up doing is we're going to be setting up just a weapon-based class that's going to contain all of the information that we're going to need, so that way we can derive directly from that and just set some basic things such as the weapon mesh, what animation is going to play when it fires, what animation when it reloads, and total ammo in the magazine, and just that kind of info. That's obviously going to change and get expanded on, as I'm obviously probably going to end up forgetting something, but we're just going to have the baseline kind of built, so that way it's just very easy to add on in the future. So let's go ahead and add a class. I'm going to go to Nazi Zombie. Guess this will be under usables. Let's create a new C++ class. Gonna do of type actor. Let's call this one weapon base and create the class. So I don't plan on using any sort of data table for this. Instead, what I'm going to do is just have a bunch of blueprint derived classes from this, and all those will essentially just have what you call it. Trying to think of the name. All those are essentially just going to have my brain shut off. Anyways, ignore what I was saying. I'm tired. Go ahead and reload. Close the barricade for now. Weapon base. And weapon base. Let's go ahead and fix the include. So it's going to be project name, public, Nazi zombies, usables, weapon base.h. So pretty much the path down to here. All right. We do not want it to tick. We can remove our tick function. And let's go ahead and get rid of you and do a quick compile. I'm going to go ahead and close down the editor. And let's start just thinking of some stuff we need to add. So weapon mesh, total ammo, magazine size, fire animation, uh, reload animation, fire function, reload function, and getter functions for ammo. Okay. So let's go ahead and begin with the skeletal mesh of the weapon. So I'm going to create a new protected section for the variables. So it's going to be u property, edit anywhere. Let's do category equals Nazi zombie. I think I set, I'm trying to remember, I used a specific category for the barricades. Yeah, Nazi zombie settings. Run for declare class u skeletal mesh component. Call this one weapon mesh. Now we need total ammo. So int 32. Actually, this could just be a uint, as Visual Studio has locked up. There we go. Well, nah. N32. Let's do weapon max ammo. We're gonna do current current total ammo. No, yeah, current total ammo and current magazine ammo. Actually, these two do not need to be U properties. And we're just going to have this one be magazine max ammo. So for the 1911, for example, this will be 7. Whereas we want to have an extra, I don't know, I'm going to be following kind of roughly the same guidelines as War to War. So I'm going to have to look and see roughly how much that has. So now we need a fire animation and a reload animation. I want to do that right underneath the mesh. So it's going to be class U animation asset fire animation. Reload animation. I forgot a semicolon. And our getter functions. Oh, we had one for fire. So do virtual void fire. Need a reload function. So let's see. Probably end up for certain weapons having a custom reload function. So we'll do virtual void reload. We need some getters. So getter functions for ammo. So it's going to be, let's see, I want to do a T array of int32s. And I'll do get current ammo. I'm going to make a comment here. First element is magazine ammo. Second element is total ammo, like so. Now, I'm only going to create the definition for get current ammo, and I'll explain why here in a second. Because fire and reload are going to be pure virtual functions. I just added elements like that. Yeah. Let's see, T array of type int32. Let's do ammo equals. Actually, kind of curious about a couple things with T arrays. Can I just do can I do that? And does that satisfy it? Guess so. So for fire and reload, we're just going to make that equal to 0 and equal to 0. And let's go ahead and compile. So what this is doing is we're not creating any sort of definition here, but we cannot really use, actually, no, we're going to want to, now that I think about it, we do not want them to actually be per virtual. Never mind. We're gonna actually go ahead and just create the definitions and then override them because I want to just use the weapon base and have all the information in that class so I'm not having to constantly cast, if you know what I mean. This will end up just being a better route. No, we don't really have anything in those. Let's see, line 12. That's generic body, I don't care. And let's see if it throws a fit. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to relaunch my uh, Unreal Engine. Was everything right? Yes. So here's our weapon-based class. I'm going to go ahead and create a blueprint version. I'm going to do it for the 1911. I'll just throw it right in there. So create blueprint class based on new weapon base. I'm going to click BP underscore weapon 1911. And I'm going to put it in the 1911 folder. So we now have this blueprint right here. And I guess I'll make a new folder for, let's do mesh. And I'll drag the materials in there as well. All right, so let's go ahead and add, let's see. I'm missing I just realized what I forgot to do. Do it save. So for the skeletal mesh component, got to actually set that up. So I'm going to do include components, skeletal mesh component.h, and do weapon mesh equals create default subobject to skeletal mesh component, like so, and compile. And I'm going to relaunch the editor. Now we'll have a skeletal mesh to actually set. All right, here's our weapon mesh. Set it to the 1911. Like so. And now we can set all the other info. So fire animation, 1911 fire. We don't have a reload animation yet, but weapon max ammo, well, weapon or magazine max ammo set to 7. Weapon max ammo, I guess just to 98, something along those lines. Let's see here. Yeah, I could have just divided, but screw it. Okay, and we now have our weapon base class for the most part set up. But now that I think about it, for the 1911, we're actually going to want to, I just made a stupid, we're going to derive C++ classes off of it to override the functions and then create blueprint classes off of that to actually, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So this one's going to be weapon 1911, create class. So that way we can override the functions. That part slipped my mind entirely. So I'm actually going to delete the blueprint that we just created and close down the editor. Okay. So I'm going to make a default constructor. And override our fire and I guess reload function. And in the constructor, I'm going to set the 1911. So max magazine ammo equals 7. And max total ammo equals 98. Let me fix the path real quick. So same exact thing as before, project name, public, Nazi zombie, usables, class name. Right. Then we need to create the implementation for the reload and fire. And we are pretty much good to go. I'm just going to print out log. Well, I'm not sure why I commented that out. Right. What are you complaining about? So it's weapon max ammo and magazine max ammo. So mess that up a little bit. All right. Let's do actually one more thing. Let's give the weapon a name that we can set. So we're just gonna do that under here. So it's gonna be a F string weapon name. And now we can compile. Well, I'm actually gonna set the weapon name to be 1911. And I guess it wouldn't hurt to give some defaults. So it's out of weapon base. Gonna give weapon name of default, weapon max ammo 255, magazine max ammo 30. Everything else should be pretty much, let's see, current total ammo, set that to weapon max ammo equals weapon max ammo, and current magazine ammo equals magazine max ammo. I want to copy that and do the same thing in the constructor of the 1911 and compile. Okay, now I think we should be good to go. I wasn't planning on actually recording anything tonight. All right, we're launching the project. Okay, go to our new class, 1911, create blueprint class, do BP underscore weapon 1911, put it in our 1911 folder, set everything up. That's all set. 1911 fire, compile and save. And whenever we actually get ready to, I guess, use this, we can just do weapon base, call fire, and whatever implementation we have for it, it will just simply fire. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want a different effect for certain weapons. So, for example, some are going to be just automatic only, some are going to be semi-automatic only. I don't know if I want to go the route of making some of the weapons select fire. I might, because I kind of want to have that feature in, but at the same time, I kind of want to keep true to War to War, but I may end up just because and as games kind of get more modern, well, newer, they end up having select fire features, which is kind of nice. So I might end up going that route. So we might have a default, we might in the weapon base create a default fire, well, set up the fire function to actually be just for semi-autos so for example, using the 1911, we don't have to override it and set anything up that way. So we might end up doing that in the future. But right now we're just trying to get this set up and going. Well, that should be pretty much everything for now. In the next video, we're going to get started on kind of setting up our character to, one, we're gonna have to make it so it uses the, not, you know, the default mannequin first person mesh and weapon. We're gonna make him use our new first person arms, which is this. I don't even know. I don't know. It's in one of these. Oh, duh, character. So we're gonna set it up to use these arms, and then we're gonna have to end up creating a way to switch and have a wide range of weapons essentially. Because if you remember in World at War on the PC anyways, there was a console command called give all, and that command pretty much gave you, well, every single weapon that you had access to. And I want to end up having a couple little console commands because I think that would be kind of neat to have little kind of like cheats that World at War had, such as, just basic stuff like infinite ammo, the give all, and I want to have it set up so some of them only work in single player and, some only might work in multiplayer or none might work in multiplayer. I'm not entirely sure how I want to do that part yet. But anyways, now that our 1911 is set up, we can go ahead and start working on the character portion, like I said. So I will see you then.